All right, so we just finished a unit on factoring and kind of, I wanted to give you guys a brief overview of what's coming up next. So this next unit, Unit 4, is based off of graphing these quadratics. Now, we may not have used this term quadratic very often so far, but essentially all a quadratic is it's another way to name something in this kind of format. Ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay. We've been working with like trinomials, binomials, monomials. A quadratic is just a specific kind of um, trinomial. So we're looking at stuff that's in this format, ax squared plus bx plus c. We learned how to factor them, right? How to break them down into their groups. So now we're looking at how to graph these things. Okay. Essentially, it comes down to anything with this degree of 2, or anything that has an exponent of 2, has the same generic shape. Okay, that's referred to as a parabola. Okay, and a parabola is essentially it's a U shape. Okay, I want to be very clear that it is a U, not a V. It does not come to like a sharp point. It is a curve. Okay, remember a while ago we talked about the difference of like linear algebra and quadratic algebra. It essentially comes down to a curve. Okay, so when you graph these things, they are parabolas. They are curves. Okay, essentially, it would look something like this. Like this, essentially, let's say this was our graph, y is equal to ax squared, which is this is how we're going to start it, with something basic like this. Um, but the generic idea here is if we draw a quick just sketch, okay, remember the idea behind a sketch is just the general idea of what it's going to look like. So a sketch of this is it makes this a U shape, this parabola. So it's going to look something like this. It's going to come down, and then it's going to bounce back up. Now, obviously, this is not exact. Right? I'll show you all the exact stuff later. But essentially, what you're going to learn is if we start off with this ax squared plus bx plus c, or we make an equation, y equals, each of those pieces controls something involving the u. Right? If you graph different things, sometimes it'll make the U narrower, like it might look a little bit squished like this, or maybe it'll make it very wide, or sometimes it just moves it up and down, maybe something like this. Or it could also turn it upside down, okay? So a big part of this upcoming unit is knowing what causes these changes in the graphs. What causes something to force the parabola to go up versus down versus wide versus narrow. And that's kind of all the big characteristics. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick overview video just to kind of show you of what's coming up.